Okay, thank you so much. Mazoud from Sudan, from working PhD student at University of Khartoum, working collaborationally with NICHR, Institution of Health and Research. So this is the presentations about the modeling approach used to predict distribution of Skin-NTDs. This is the first stage in my PhD. This work as a systematic literature review. The content of this presentation will be the introductions and aim with the modeling disease distribution or approach to modeling disease distribution. As said before, there are a lot, but the most common there are two. Ecological niche model. This is identify area with a certain volatile environmental condition for disease based on unknown case. And number two is geostatistical model, use the spatial patterns and relationship to predict distribution of variance in unobserved area. So this is geostatistical model depends on first law of geography. It says that everything is related to everything else, but near things are more related than distant things. So what the difference between two methods? There are the ecological niche model focus on environmental suitability, while the geostatistical predictor based on spatial independence. Next. This is the just and also more clear about the model. This is interactive or maps that are that of the myostoma distribution of myostoma in Sudan, and they create a prediction model from the existing data. Next. Yeah, this is a distribution prediction model of myostoma. Next. Also, there's other example of prediction model. They are in Sierra Leone. They are this is existing distribution of STH, and others is the predictions model of it. Next. Yeah, this is distributions models. Next. So the aim of this work related to global goals. They are in two categories: WHO framework for controlling, emphasize surveillance, mapping disease, hotspot, and integrated interventions. As well, the key goals: enhancing diagnosis, preventions, and community engagement, and treatment access. And aim of prediction model. What the aim of prediction model? Mapping map disease distributions, and this is one of the most useful for the control of the disease, and identify high risk populations to identify high risk area of disease, predict the gap in surveillance data, and particularly in lower resources setting. I mean that in lower income country. So the support targeting intervention, resources optimizing, and even event based on decision makers. This can support decision maker whom they are working for the policy maker. Next. The objective of this systematical literature review, first one is identifies the prevalence modeling approach to use to predict distribution of Skin-NTDs. Secondly, to evaluate the strengths and weakness of those model methods. And thirdly, to highlight the research gap in the field of Skin-NTDs predictions. And lastly, the recommendation to improve accuracy and impact of modeling for Skin-NTDs distribution. Next. So after we put our aim and objective, our methodology is first our aim to review and assess their strength, limitations, and gap of modeling used to predict the Skin-NTDs. And identify, we conduct a systematic literature review in composite three databases: Web of Science, Orbit, and Web of Science, and PubMed, and included those from period time of this 2000 and up to 2024. So the screening included and excluded criteria. We built our included our criteria, and there we are two independent reviewer screen title and abstract and full text. And allegedly that the article or the study path be included, abstract full included, we found 35 study that meet our criteria, included criteria. So what output of this extraction data? Just here put it like for example, they just extract disease of interest, study regions, and source of epidemiological data and model types, and there are others. Next. What the key result? We identify 2.870 is study after duplications. And the title and abstract screening narrows this to 75 studies. After full text review, 35 were included in the final analysis. Next. One of the first is disease of interest. So the disease of interest reminds us the range of Skin-NTDs with the different transmission mode, vector-borne or non-vector-borne disease agents and case frequency. This graph near besides show the summarize what I'm saying. The next. So also one of the data extraction is study regions. This map shows the study cover many regions, focus on area where the Skin-NTDs are endemic, included Africa, Asia, North and South America, and part of Europe. So, and we found that the most consideration in Center and North Africa. This is the most study we found focus our the youth the models. So this map is summarize what I'm saying. Next. The model approach youth. There are, as I'm said before, they are mostly used. There are 22 study the youth ecological niche model, and 15 are study the youth geostatistical model. So to remember that we said before, ecological needs model, quarrying, casing, and environmental prediction, and geostatistical model use spatial dependent to predict a continuous outcome, improving accuracy. Next. So what the source, the source of the epidemiological data? I mean here, epidemiological data was driving from various sources reflecting diversity to approach gathering the health informations. And the chart show that we just married the model type and source of epidemiological data. We categorize them in three types, such as case notification, literature review, survey. And the type that you find in ecological niche model, the most of them is using survey and case notifications. And in geostatistical, let they use literature review and notifications. Next. So as well, the environmental data set they use, what the environmental they use for the modeling. The study included a variety of environmental data sets that were integrated into the model. So we create a heat map to show up the environmental data set they use. And if you find continuously missionized that use, most of them they use precipitations, one of the environmental or climate data, and they are 10 or 12 studies they use. And in lymphatic variation they use 8 studies they use precipitation and temperature. The most of this they use is precipitation, temperature, atmospheric, and lower they use healthy access. Next. So what the challenge and limitation of model approach? So when the one of the challenge we found from our extractions study, that limitation and consistency in the epidemiological data. They are limitation in epidemiological data, as well they are weakness in surveillance system, and there are poor generalization of model cross regions, because this is I think understandable, because each region they have a specific characteristic. So highly computation demand for affident technical like Bayesian geostatistical model. So as well the ecological complexity of skin entities, human behavior, and we know that is the behavior of human is too complicated to be understood by computer or to be understood by the numericals. So vector biological and climate as well need for improved data collection. We need to improve data collection and driving validity. So the importance of report value to the enhancing accuracy and relevance. Next. So potential application of this uh, model or output of this model. So we think or our study found that this can be targeting intervention. Model could be help identify higher risk area for targeting case finding followed by interventions. Also, the enhancing surveillance, they could predict area at risk of emergency or outbreaks. So also the informative campaign use risk mapping to risk awareness in at-risk communities. So this is can help for community engagement and awareness also. So also the integration with other program overlapping output to support joining the interventions. Next. So what our next step? So this we did our did review our we still working on it. What our next step? So I will develop an ecological niche model for my stoma to identify environmental suitability area. And also I will combine model output and existing data for Sudan to pinpoint priority area for targeting interventions. Also, I will work on improving the availability and interoperability of model output to ensure they are useful for the health program. I will support interventions planning by helping optimizing surveillance and resources allocations. Next. So these are references. And next, this abandons this criteria and the research strain. Uh, I really this work, this research is funded by NICHR, NIHR, a Global Health Research Unit program. And I'm really thank you for your having me these opportunities. Um, and also I will end this presentation with the your book said all models are wrong, but there are some are useful. Thank you so much.
Mr. Thank you for your talk. Because we run out of time a little, we're only going to take